All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tyler Chandler. I'm the vice chair, I guess, for this committee, and Justin is running a little late, so we're going to go ahead and get started this evening. So thank you all for being here. We have a quorum. Welcome our other commissioners that are here. And we've heard feedback throughout the years as we do this process that it's a little bit lengthy, and at times we feel like we waste your time as applicants because each time you speak, we hear from you on the same thing about your mission and what you're doing, right? So we want to be respectful to everyone's time, and so no one is expected to speak tonight by any means. We've been serving for a while. We know what your mission is, so we're only going to invite those who are new applicants to speak. And then after all new applicants, if any existing applicants who have applied before wish to speak, you are welcome to speak. But we've been here very late nights at times, from 9 to 10 o'clock at night, just to hear the same spiel, and we really just want to be keep your time in mind as well through the process, but just to ensure that our process is efficient as well on our part. All right, so hopefully that's a good thing. All right, good deal. I was afraid I would upset some people with that process, so I'm glad I did it. But everyone has signed in, correct? Because one of the requirements through our finance department is that you have to be present at one of these meetings. So please sign in. And if you haven't signed in, they have that at the end here for you to do so. So do we have any new applicants that would like to speak?
Yes.
He's got to
Yes, sir.
everything first. He's got to do minutes and everything first.
If you'll, yes, sir.
I'm Gary Vandiver. I'm the director of the Wilson County Teen Court.
Right.
Teen Court is a 50C3 corporation that was chartered in 2003. It was initially run by Linda.
Can you hold on
Yes,
just
sir.
a second?
They reminded me I have to approve the minutes. So we have a set of minutes in front of us.
So moved.
All right, have a second?
Second.
All right, minutes are approved.
Public comment?
And do we have anyone for public comment? All right. Did I cover everything? All right, we're good to go, sir. Sorry.
All right, it was chartered in 2003. Linda Schenck was the original director, and Linda served for about 10 or 12 years in that position. Teen Court is run through the Wilson County Juvenile Court with Judge Tatum. We get all of our cases through juvenile court. There is an act giving us the authority through TCA 37-1-102, Tennessee Teen Court Acts, and we do operate with them and are in constant contact with them. We have a board of directors: Rachel Farley, Teresa Emerson, Lauren Brees, I think y'all probably know, Kayla Costley, Marie Farley, and Tyler Presley, an assistant DA. We have court generally one night a month. We recruit kids from all the junior highs and high schools in Wilson County. We have approximately 30 kids that are on our team jury. They act as the clerk, they act as a bailiff, they act as jury foreman and jurors. And we get cases, like I say, from the youth service office out of juvenile court. They can be charged with any kind of misdemeanor, any kind of felony, or an unruly offense. The code gives us certain things that we can do. And the way we operate it, we have an adult judge. We call the child and his parent before the podium. We read the petition that the officer or SRO has written. That is accepted as fact. The kids don't make a guilt or innocence finding. They make a finding on what should happen as a result of those charges. We ask the child what their position is, why this happened, how it happened, and then we ask the parent, what did you do as a result of this? And it's amazing how proactive some parents can be and how receptive our jurors are to what the parents have done. We had court last night. We had 11 cases on our docket last night. Generally, we have between 4 and 6 cases. But it is a very, very good program. The code provides certain things that we can do for the kids. They can't be paid, of course. We charge $30 per case as court cost, but we would like to give out scholarships. We like to do training. When we do training for the kids, we like to be able to serve them some type of light snack and drink.
Sure.
And we're asking for $2,500.
Gotcha. It was a good program. In 2003, when I was in high school, I was a part of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Right.
I know Miss Linda very well, and I think it's a great thing. Glad to see it's still rocking and rolling.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
I know we received a copy of a letter that the mayor sent out to us today
Yes, sir.
about going last night.
Is each court session, we are having someone come in and speak to the kids on youth-related matters. We've had Mayor Hutto, we've had Donnie Self with the Sheriff's Department, or with the school board. We had Nick Barris from Channel 5 come in and talk. We had Assistant Commissioner of Mental Health come in and talk, and we were fortunate to have her that night because we had a parent come up and say their daughter had suicidal ideation, so Beth was able to go out in the hall and talk to her and get her counseling and treatment started. We've got Lauren Brees coming in July, or in June, to talk. Got Chad Vance with the Sheriff's Department and his dog coming in to talk to the kids about school safety. So it's a real good program.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Much.
If they're not required to speak, then may they leave?
I think so. Yeah, if you're not required to speak, you're free to go. Do we have any other new applicants that like to speak?
There you go, Stephanie. Come in there.
All right,
Just your name and what organization. You may have a crowd leave, so we may want to give it a second.
okay. It's okay.
Hey, thank you.
I know.
Sure, that's fine.
We already did the minutes.
Good.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Can't help you. Welcome. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night. They do. Howdy ho.
Have a good one.
Good, good. I tell you what, I don't think that you're going to ever be able to do that.
I know, she needs to get it
Another lot.
canceled. But I think in May now, maybe, they're looking at a date. So.
I know. They patched and
Hey, good, how are you doing? Good deal. Yeah.
Director for volunteer.
Yeah, awesome.
Cumberland Mental Health. It's kind of
What I thought.
Yeah, we have a health specialist on staff with us, so Danny Weist is with us at MJPD, so, yeah, so we appreciate it. Okay, thanks.
how far it goes.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Traffic was crazy, man. Man, it was.
Which way'd you come down?
Come down Lebanon Road.
Okay. Interstate started to get me a little bit, but I made it through.
Yeah, I jumped off. I got off work and I take a shower real quick. It's like out of the house. I still had 20 minutes. It'll be 20 minutes to get here. Corey.
There you go.
I wonder these days, some days I think I can make it just fine, and some days it's like,
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna hang out.
sorry, they're on their way out.
I think everybody's.
Thank you. Did you?
Hey.
Biggest damn thing going. I had a dude in Green Hill playing softball, and I was trying to get out of it.
1 second. It's in 1 minute.
Well, go get to the meeting.
Fine with me. It's fine with me.
I got you.
Glad he let the people go.
I got you.
Seeing you.
Yeah, you have to be present tonight, but
Just claustrophobic, are you?
Me and Crown.
We didn't fill out the form because Terry's
Just look at us. Nobody else here.
son got real sick. He was in the airport, and we didn't fill the form out, so we missed it.
okay.
So if you'll throw
That we're pretty limited. We'll do what we can.
He should have stayed and talked.
Sure.
Well, he's mad.
Got it. Thank you, sir. Be safe. Thank you. Bye. All right. So sorry, just name and what organization you represent.
Okay, my name's Stephanie Oliver, and I'm here on behalf of the Marcus Oliver Foundation. The foundation was established in memory of my late husband, Marcus Oliver Sr. He was a member of the community here. We've lived here since 2006, and his life was based on Jeremiah 29:11, and so our goal is to provide practical and emotional support to individuals 14 to 30 and homeschool families that are facing life-altering challenges from the loss of a loved one or a job loss or a major life transition. We are looking for the $2,500 grant to further our mission of supporting youth and families, particularly in Wilson County. There are two initiatives that we want to pursue, and that's a physical education and social skills class for homeschool students and a grief care group for teens. The past several months, we've seen a growing need in our own community. There's 158 families just in the last several months have inquired about our program. We directly serve 24 families currently. We have about 30 students through the tutorial. Some of those students have been supported through the foundation with scholarships because of the loss of a parent or a major job loss in their family, and we've enabled those families to continue their homeschool journey, so that's been a pleasure to do that. We have received a lot of inquiry about the grief care group for teens. That's birthed out of my own experience after loss, just struggling to find local sources to help my own children, two of which were teens at the time. So we've been able to kind of bolster our efforts with partnering with organizations like Cardinal Health and Kroger, and Cook's United Methodist has been a huge partner of ours, Martin's Wrecker, the Nashville Dream Center, Christopher Ministry, and most recently Tennessee Achieves, which we're really excited about because the Cumberland students, we look forward to them helping with our PE program. But what we look to do through our support, we're able to do scholarships. One of the big things we offer is free counseling support. So we partner with some of those other local professionals, and we help pay for their counseling. And then we have a program where we distribute grief care boxes and resources to bereaved families. And we were able to help support some families this year with Christmas donations and food donations as well. So one of our major goals is to have a community center where teens and youth, young adults can gather to receive some of these educational services to help them through transitions and some of the counseling resources that I think are really needed. The biggest barrier to most families receiving some of this is financial, and so if we can help offset that, that would be exciting. I know that we rank, I think, 7th in the nation for bereaved children, and that's, I don't know, that's pretty big to me. Just the number of kids who have experienced the loss of a parent or sibling, an immediate family member, and just struggle to work through that. With your support, the grant would give us the $1,675 we need for the curriculum, for the social emotional learning, social skills curriculum, and the physical education curriculum. And then the other $875 would go in support of our grief care for teens program. Our mission is really to restore hope and resilience and stability to those who have just lost their way, to help kind of bridge that gap from what was to what could be. And so we hope that we get to partner with Wilson County to do that. Any questions?
Oh, ma'am.
You all right here in Wilson County?
We are. We're right here. My office is locally on West Badur, just a small space to get us going and organized. We were established in 2023, and we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we've had some really good support from people that sometimes unexpected. Cardinal Health was an employer of my husband, and they have an employee matching program. He was a leader in that organization, and their leadership has really gotten behind us on this, and that's exciting. And then some of the other individuals in the community have done the same, and so we want to grow the impact and the influence, and I feel like there's no better place to start than where we call home. So,
You said you basically service people 14 to
14 to 30. We want to encompass those that are young as well, because I think teens, there is a need for teens, but there's also that period like in college, right after college, and sometimes they don't make good decisions in college, and you need someone to come alongside you. My husband did a lot of that. Now, he would hire people. Like, he'd say, come work for me, and he'd use that as an environment to help mentor them, and we have some ideas about how we can do that with business ideas for the community as well, but that's a little further down the road. I think right now, we just want to make an impact on the teens, and 14 to 30 is the age group.
I'm kind of curious, because one of your opening statements was your father-in-law lived by Jeremiah 29:11.
My late husband, yes.
Okay,
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
But, so, would faith-based be involved in any of your counseling or tutoring or mentoring?
We do have Christian counselors, but we also partner with organizations like we are looking to partner with the Boys and Girls Club so that it wouldn't just be faith-based. We want to be able to connect people with faith-based resources because we as an organization believe that there's a lot of power and possibility through that. And that Jeremiah 29:11, that's all about knowing that there's hope and there's a future. And hope is a big aspect of resilience for overcoming loss or difficulty. So I think that if we're able to do that through the goodness of the gospel, for us, that's a bonus. But if people are not open to it in that way, I think we can still show that love in many ways, whatever their faith background is. I hope that answers your question.
All good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good job, Stephanie.
I'm Jim Carroll, Vice President of Operations for Rehab 23. We've been before you many times, so I'm not going to give you the whole spiel, but we support the 1,000-plus first responders in the county, in Wilson County, and we go to the fires, and we go to law enforcement situations. We do training, and we take care of our first responders by making sure they have rehydration and food and everything that they might need in a fire situation. Last year, we did over 2,535 volunteer hours. We 36 responses to the fire departments in the county, 6 responses with law enforcement, 24 events with training support hours for training support, and 26 events. And we also provide 3 meals a day, 3 days a week at the racetrack for all the first responders, as well for the NASCAR race and for the Indy race. But really, more than anything, I just wanted to come up and I could have left because we've been up here so many times, but just wanted to say thank you to the county and to you commissioners for always looking after us and saying such nice things about us and providing us this $7,500 that we didn't ask for an increase in that, and that provides for our insurance for our vehicles, 3 units that we have, and also our maintenance. So thank you very much, and I just wanted to come up for a few minutes and say thank you.
Are you the president now?
I'm vice president, yes.
Who's
Lynn Yeager.
so Lynn's still?
Lynn's still the president, yes.
Okay, get rid of him.
No, we've tried, but no, not really. We don't want to. Yeah, so we've been around about 13 years almost now, and so Lynn's always been president. So, but anyway, thank you guys always for supporting us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Good evening.
Hi.
I'm Regina Gurton. I am the founder and executive director of Volunteer Network. Volunteer Network is a newer nonprofit to Wilson County. Simply put, we believe in building bridges for change in this community. We do that in a variety of different ways, one of which is practically we provide an online platform for organizations to post their volunteer opportunities, and then the greater Wilson County community to create a free profile to sign up for those opportunities. Currently, to date, we have around 54 4 nonprofit organizations that utilize our platform in varying ways. In May, we will have 2 years since we launched that online platform, and we've seen over 5,000 hours of volunteer service served through Wilson County community members. One of the ongoing ways that we also live into our mission is that we partner with the community on needs that may come our way that volunteer groups might be able to provide assistance for. A great example is one from last year where we partnered with Mount Juliet Fire Department to build a wheelchair ramp for a community member who is a double leg amputee that had come to live with their sister unexpectedly. Another great example of that is one that we're actually working on right now in partnership with Grade A Construction to revamp a wheelchair ramp for a community member that came our way through referral from Wilson Rides. So we'd like to be able to partner with our community partners too, as they are the eyes, boots on the ground. And where we're not able to provide financially for that, we look at other community organizations to be able to help pool together our resources to be able to help meet those needs. Another way that we live into our mission and vision, and is the purpose of our grant this evening that's before you, is that in times of disaster, we partner with Wilson Emergency Management Agency and our first responders to be the funnel for volunteerism in those times of crisis. We were birthed out of the tornado in March of 2020, where my partner Jamie Tyner and I were both serving as outreach directors at local churches, and we partnered quickly with the city of Mount Juliet, which then broadened to Wilson County Mayor Hutto to be able to not only provide that volunteer management, but then spearhead creating a long-term recovery group to serve our community members in need who can't survive or recover on their own. We've been able to establish a coalition called Volunteer Organizations Active in Disaster. We launched that Wilson County chapter of that platform in May of last year, which serves as the table of community leaders who identify themselves as saying, yes, in a time of disaster, we would potentially provide XYZ resource. Volunteer Network being that, just that volunteer management piece of that puzzle. That platform has really allowed us to partner even more robustly with Wilson Emergency Management Agency. And one of our goals for 2025 that you have before you is that we are wanting to have supplies on deck, ready to go in our the word is our storage space. There we go. The evening time is hard at the end of the workday. But in our storage space for volunteer reception centers. So if you were to think of the March of 2020 disaster scale, we would want to be able to have all the supplies ready to just pull out those volunteer reception center in a box, if you will, and have that ready to be able to prop up and safely deploy and train volunteers in need. You'll see there as well in the application some information on some of our board members that I think are of note, two of whom are here today. Nikki Jones, our board president, and Galen Wilson, who's the executive director of Wilson Rides. Tamara Feltz, who's the planning director with Wilson Emergency Management Agency, is also on our board, as is Chief Mark Folks, the chief of fire for Mount Juliet. You guys... Yeah, right? What a motley crew to hang out with.
Appreciate what y'all do.
Yeah, do you have any questions?
Where are you located?
Our main office is over at the mill, actually, here in Lebanon.
And so, and disasters and things of that nature, was y'all the 2020, was y'all involved in that?
We were, yeah. We not as Volunteer Network. I'm also a United Methodist pastor, so I was serving as the pastor of outreach at Providence Church in Mount Juliet. If you were to secularize mine and my partner Jamie's job, it's volunteer management and project management. So certainly had never overseen an effort of 4,000 people, but now we have.
You have like a storehouse of goods and all of that stuff.
We're working towards having our volunteer network own more robust storage space. We already have disaster relief kits that we put together last year, and this volunteer reception center would help to increase that. We partner, though, with Hands On Nashville, who's under the umbrella of United Way of Greater Nashville, and other disaster relief agencies as well, who in a large-scale disaster would be supplying us with the resources needed.
Okay, but you're not a number that I can call for because we don't have a disaster, thank the good Lord, every day. But we do have cold weather with people outside, homeless people.
Sure.
It's gonna be a problem.
Yep.
That's what I was asking about a storm.
You bring up a great addition to some of the work that we do. We facilitated propping up a housing and homelessness roundtable here in Wilson County that's made up of a lot of different community leaders. And one of our subcommittees is actually tackling emergency shelter. So we have been working with Wilson Emergency Management Agency to create a more robust plan for some long-term solutions, Volunteer Network being one of the players at that table. So this winter, we were able to host 2 of our first emergency warming shelters for people experiencing homelessness or those who potentially didn't have proper heating in their homes. Obviously, Compassionate Hands is our only unhoused nonprofit in Wilson County that provides shelter space, but they have a capacity. So we partnered with WEMA to be able to host those first 2 shelters. And then another piece of that emergency shelter work is that we just hosted with WEMA our first 2 safe shelters. So when a tornado watch goes into effect, we opened up the first 2 that we had was at First United Methodist Church in Lebanon. And we saw between 2 safe shelters over 80 people, 6 dogs and a cat who were able to get into a safe place and be able to weather that tornado watch period in community, right? So you're not by yourself, as well as somewhere that is safe as well. We were able to prop those up on a moment's notice, utilizing our volunteers that have already been trained through our platform.
Good deal. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
I'm a clapper.
I'm a clapper.
I think everybody needs some encouragement.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I agree.
so the group that I represent is not new to you, but I may be new to you. Some of you not. My name is Heather Sadler Gallagher, and I'm the director of the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. So I'm going to roll off of the heels of Volunteer Network. We at the Lebanon Senior Center got to be a part of the winter shelters because we have a kitchen and we feed between 200 and 250 seniors a day. So we had closed our center, but yet we still had food. So we got the opportunity to cook and make sure that we had meals, and we shared that with Compassionate Hands. So I will say I do think that the nonprofits in this county do our best to work together, and they've taken me on because I'm new to nonprofit work. But I can tell you the sharing of resources between groups is amazing. So I probably, this is the first meeting I've been to up here, but I got to come in and see so many friends. So thanks for that little reunion. I appreciate that. But I'm here to talk about the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center, and I'm honored to be their director. And we serve mostly, everybody thinks we're in Lebanon, but we have 60% of our membership is actually Wilson County residents. So we are not limited by a city limit. Sometimes that's a question I get, and that is absolutely not the truth. But we also come in and serve members with, we have 3 ways our biggest way we serve is our meal program. So we have where we serve curbside. We have 7 different routes within Lebanon that we do homebound, and then we also have our congregate meal. And you know, I say there's something special about sharing a meal, breaking bread with somebody. Jesus did it. Every time you want to go out with friends, you say, "Hey, let's go eat dinner." I can tell you the friendships you make over breaking bread together. It's families that are built together of seniors that I get to see every day, which is amazing. But I say all that to say that it's not just meals we provide. We provide somebody watching. We provide exercises. We provide love, and we provide we provide the resources. We have a social services coordinator that comes in, and so what happens is if you need to get help with Medicare, that's the biggest one. Medicare comes out every year on the re-enrollment. They actually sit down one-on-one, and they're SHIP certified, can help you do that. So our social services coordinator does that. We get resources to come into us, and we say, okay, do you need a ramp built? We got some resources for you. If you need to get, we have a thrift store. It's called the Unique Boutique, and I get a call about once a week from the hospital here in Wilson County, and they say, "Hey, Heather, do you have a walker? Do you have a wheelchair? Do you have some diapers? What do you have?" Because we get a lot of that donated. We make sure it's in good condition, and we repurpose it and reuse use it. That kind of started out of a grant that the Senior Citizen Center got during COVID for adult diapers, and now we get them donated. So we actually share everything we get. So what you give, we're sharing, and we are giving out as well. So the other kind of new adventure we have is, and it's spearheaded by Miss Kathy right here, is our food pantry. You would not believe how many people utilize our food pantry, our seniors. Either they can't get out to go get something, or cooking for one is hard, or they just don't have the resources, or they're in between where they could get some resources and they can't. So we send a lot of soup cans home, macaroni and cheese and crackers, peanut butter and crackers, cereal. We send a lot of that home, and we make sure our seniors over the weekend, they have things. If they don't get to us, we want to make sure that they're fed. So I just want you to know that we're more than just a little building on Coles Ferry Pike. There's so many more things we do there, and so I appreciate what y'all have done in the past. We've been here since 1979. I did a presentation at Kiwanis yesterday and talked about our history. I am only the 4th director they've had, so that bodes well for my longevity, I'm hoping, in this position. But that's what I'm hoping. But I say that to say we're tried and true. We're going to be here, but we sure appreciate your support and your ongoing support. So, have I got any questions?
I do. Real quick, I know there's few that's watching online. Can you just tell us how people can get involved with this program to be able to reach out to participate?
To participate, so you have to be, to be a member of the Senior Citizen Center, you have to be 55 or older. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I don't take your license and double check that's made to you. So if you look under 55, I think you pass, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'll pass.
My husband's real close. So I tell everybody, we ask that you're 55 and older. So we charge a annual membership of $35 if you can pay it. If you can't pay it, you can meet with our social services coordinator, and we use a lot of that money we get for grants for scholarships. And so if you'll come by, we have it's really an easy membership. We don't take blood. We don't ask for references. We just really want your name and address and how to get a hold of you, and then we'll take your $35, and then we send you a newsletter every month, so you know what's going on. If that newsletter doesn't go out, I promise I hear about it, because it didn't go out last month because the bulk mail didn't get it out. So I promise you I hear about it. And that has all of our meals and everything. So we plan out meals every single day, and it's all planned out for the month. And all you do is call us. We get you on the list, and you can come eat with us. So I encourage you, any of y'all want to come eat lunch with us one day, it's $4. So $4 and $5 on Friday. So, and a chicken breast is an extra $1. So, just in case. But I really do. I really encourage you to come by, call and say, hey, we want to come by and just see and experience lunch. It'll make a difference, and you'll get to see it. So if y'all need a trip, come and see me.
Mr. Fields, you should be able to get right in on that right there.
Yeah.
Hey, as old as I am, I should get a discount.
Oh, okay.
Hey, listen, we could work that out since you're working through this committee and helping us out. We work through. Hey, $2. So she said $2.
No, he takes all the room. No.
Hey.
He could have been a member 30 years ago.
Yeah. So if there's seriously, if you have any questions, if you can't tell, I'm passionate about this organization. I'm passionate about seniors. I've spent 15 years in the senior living industry before coming here, and 2 years in hospice before that. So this is right where God led me to be, for sure. So
I'm gonna need help. You gotta sit down. You done already ruined it.
Why'd I ruin it?
You're 55. I'm 55.
Oh. I didn't offer you.
Really, 55?
I didn't offer you the application. I could. You're the one you outed yourself. He outed himself. Yeah.
Public, I guess I'm working with some senior citizens.
Hey, you know what? And it's a joy to work with them. Their stories, their experience, and their wisdom.
We love them. We just gotta make sure they get to bed on time tonight.
That's why is that why you said everybody can go if it's not too? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Give me some of them nappies.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
you're welcome. Thank you for your time. Please don't end on that.
Oh, good. I don't think I can beat you though. My name is Lindsay Voigt, and I'm actually the Director of Operations for Home Safe. We serve the Wilson County residents by providing services for the women, children, and men in our community. This includes anyone that's experienced domestic violence, and that can be impacted by physical, emotional, verbal, or financial. It doesn't matter. We're here to help every step of the way. These services include financial assistance to get out, whether that's a rent deposit or helping with electricity bill, or emotional support. Sometimes these people don't have anything. So we're there for them. And then support groups so they find a community. And then we've also really changed out our community enrichment for the kiddos. It's one thing that's been a big passion of mine is how do we make the kids who are experiencing the traumas do better, like feel better? How do we experience normalcy for them? So we've started movie nights and game nights every second Monday and fourth Monday of every month. So that way they get to come, we feed them snacks, we be normal for 2 hours. And then that way it gives the parents time to just breathe, you know, regroup, and then think about, and in that time they can come and get whether they need toilet paper, paper towels, clothing for school, shoes for the kids. It's a time to give them an excuse to be there for us, but without having to say, I need you. So we can use the kids for that bridge to say, hey, we're here to help. And it's just a way to show them that we're there for them too. Home Safe's been around for a long time. I'm new to this, but I do have a passion for it. I know that we could do a lot of good. I know that we have big goals and big skies to achieve, but we are thankful for your support in your community. And that's one thing that we've been talking about a lot for the last year is how do we partner with the community? How do we get better about finding those communication barriers and building together? I'm coming for you next. But yeah, so how do we build better? How do we do better? So I did want to give an example. So the money that we were asking for, it would actually help us provide direct client benefits. So that's anything from a hotel for them, say our emergency shelter's full, we can give them a hotel. We put someone in a hotel probably a month ago. She was leaving with her cat. She was not leaving that cat behind. So we were able to afford 3 weeks in that hotel for her to get in that next step. So anything from a hotel stay to birth certificates for the kids because that was lost and left behind. Driver's license, that's one thing we're working with 2 clients right now. How do we get their driver's license back? So the money actually goes to a lot of different things. Our biggest focus is direct client benefits. We're not sure if we'll have that money next year. So really just trying to push, how do we find that money? Where can we find it? And then what's left will also help with utilities, rent, and those darn telephone bills. So again, thank y'all for everything. We truly appreciate y'all's support. Does anyone have any questions for me?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank y'all.
Hello. I'm with Mid-Cumberland Meals on Wheels, and of course we serve meals to homebound senior citizens. We served over 40,000 this year in Wilson County to 361 seniors. Our meals are healthy and they're delivered by caring volunteers, and one of the favorite things we hear is when a senior will say, my volunteer is my best friend, because we know we're not only given physical nourishment, but we're also given emotional nourishment. The reason I did want to speak tonight, though, was to reiterate the demand. Our demand has gone through the roof since COVID, and we have the probable reductions in federal funding. We do a lot of outside fundraising, but we do rely on that federal piece. So I just did want to reiterate how important your funding is to us and how much we do appreciate it.
Are you in Lebanon or Mount Juliet?
So we're in both. We did the whole county.
Okay, because I know it used not to be that way because I was a driver for Mount Juliet.
Yeah.
We've always done the whole county.
Well, okay.
You just pick and choose. You don't like coming to Lebanon?
No. It was based out of the Mount Juliet Senior Center.
Well, we do, yeah. We have one there, and then we have a location at a church in Lebanon.
But it's a whole big organization.
But it's one big, I mean, we serve the whole county through 2 locations.
I will reiterate what you said about friendship. I mean, when you take a meal and get invited in and you sit there for an hour and say, hey, I've got other places to go, because they don't see anybody.
They don't. About half of our seniors live alone.
I mean, they look forward to you coming.
They do. You're exactly 100% right. And that, to me, is just as valuable as us giving you a meal. I mean, we can go and give you 5 minutes of conversation or 10 minutes of conversation when you don't see anybody all day long. And, I mean, I will say, we've got the best volunteers. They, hands down, they are just good people with hearts of gold. I mean, they really are. But I don't want to keep y'all's time, but I appreciate everything y'all have done for us.
I want to say,
Yeah.
and that's to y'all. I did this one time. I was pulling weeds.
Yes.
I mean, just to go in and what they're doing is what I do. And so it was.
You bring up a good point. They will, yeah.
It's 3 or 4 hours, but it ended up being 8 or 10.
Yeah.
In a fire suit.
Yeah. You are very good, very loyal. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Trash out, flip the floor.
Really quick, I also want to make sure that everyone knows that once you present, if you want to leave, you're more than welcome to leave. You do not have to stick around. Tomorrow we'll be issuing the grant, so if you're waiting to kind of find out what happens, that'll be tomorrow. Okay, thank you.
Hello. So once again, my organization is not new to you, but I am new to you. I am Jenny Ballard. I'm the Assistant Professor of Theater at Cumberland University. And we are super excited to have partnered with Leadership Wilson. We're meeting weekly with one of the groups from Leadership Wilson right now. And I should be specific. The Fine Arts Department, specifically the theater program, is working with Leadership Wilson to start a new award ceremony within Wilson County called the CUPPAs. So that stands for Cumberland University Phoenix Awards. It specifically is going to recognize Wilson County high school talent. So Spotlight Awards exist in Mount Juliet, which is a very, very important entity. They've recognized kids from the Mount Juliet and West area for a very long time. But a lot of the time, some of the smaller schools in Wilson County, some of the private schools in Wilson County, so on and so forth, get overlooked. So this is an effort to make sure that those high school students are being recognized. We are going to be giving out 16 awards in May of 2026, both acting awards, which are categorized by play or musical, and we're doing backstage awards because, of course, actors, I'm an actor too, we all get recognition, right? The backstage crew never gets recognition unless they have family members there to celebrate them, or the director is smart enough to bring them out on stage at the end to celebrate them. So this is an effort to make sure that everybody gets recognized for this important field that is very important that we're doing. Theater is an entity that teaches life skills as well as everything else. It teaches teamwork, decision-making, problem-solving, self-discipline, self-actualization, public speaking, a number of skills that are going to benefit students regardless of the walks in life that they pursue. So this is an effort to recognize the work that they're doing, to make sure that they know that they could have careers in this if they so choose, and to make sure also that their families recognize that we see them, we appreciate them, and so on and so forth. So we're asking for a grant for $2,500 to pay for the awards, which are going to be made by a local artist. His name is Rick Whitting. Rick Wittrig. He is actually going to be creating several very cool handcrafted metal awards through his company Fire Pit Art. They're going to be shaped like the Cumberland Phoenix, and every student who wins something will receive one of those awards. So it's something tangible they can take with them also, something they can put on their resume as they start applying for colleges, especially if they decide to pursue theater and audition for local colleges, national colleges, whatever they may choose to pursue. So we're really, really excited about this partnership. Again, we are not trying to compete with existing award ceremonies. We just want to establish something new to recognize Wilson County students specifically. So any questions about any of that? This was a hard right turn from what we've been talking about, so.
Anybody? No?
My undergrad is in musical theater from Belmont University, and it aids me every single day of my life in the nonprofit sector and the work that I do. So.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for hearing me today.
Good evening, Tyler Allen. I'm with Habitat for Humanity in Wilson County. I'm on the council. I've been on there for 6 years. We are not a new applicant, but we did increase our request for grant funding, $8750. So what that is, as you know, we are Habitat. We are a land developer, a construction company, and we are a mortgage lender as well. So we build homes and sell them at a 0% interest rate. And so it takes us 30 years to get paid for when we sell these homes on these mortgages. And so the cost of land has increased astronomically, and that $8750 is equivalent of a day build. So it's a little bit different than we've asked before. And so if we do get this grant funding, we invite 20 of y'all to come out and build. So I know I've seen Tyler in a hard hat at the new police station, but we have to have a Habitat hard hat on you. So that's what we're asking for this evening. And so we just wanted to thank you so much for the funding. Prior years, we built 100 homes in Wilson County, and we want to continue to build more. Any questions?
Where y'all currently
Build.
Sorry. Where are you guys currently building at? Yeah.
Well, we just finished building over there by the old Lebanon Prime Outlet Mall, you know where the Restore is? And wish I'd have known the road that we have a home dedication that's going to be May 8th. And I think
You did one on Rutledge Lane.
Yeah, we've built 100 homes. I can't keep track of all of them, but we're building wherever we can afford land, and that's the biggest expense that we have. And so wherever we can find land, that we can build a couple little houses. And so.
I've got a question for you. Contractors, do y'all stick with certain contractors, or is it a bid operation, or how is that?
That's handled out in Nashville, but yes, we have internal contractors that are on staff with Habitat, and then we outsource some of the specialty works in regards to plumbing, electrical work, things like that. But most of our construction is done by volunteers, such as anybody in here that's ever volunteered. So if you need to learn how to swing a hammer, put on a roof, we can do all that stuff for you.
Gotcha. Well, you don't want me building, but I'll help you haul the materials.
I'm not a handyman, so I've learned how to do many of things through Habitat. So.
Just put them on a camera and let them talk.
He's good at doing that, yes, we know that.
On drywall.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
Don't be shy. You good? Nope. I'm gonna grab some coffee real quick. Sure. Nope.
Hello. I'm Dr. Courtney Johnson. My organization probably won't be new to you, but I am new to it, like many other people, it seems like, in the room. I am the new executive director for Caris Health Center. We serve Wilson County, as well as seems to be expanding to Middle Tennessee, providing primary care to individuals who are uninsured. That doesn't mean unemployed, that just means uninsured. We serve approximately 2,800 individual patients per year right now on a 4-day schedule. So we have a lot of high demand, a lot of need, but we are primarily operating within volunteers. So we have volunteer doctors, volunteer nurse practitioners, volunteer nurses. So trying to expand hours and operations. There's always challenges with that, but we are actually partnered with Volunteer Network as well to kind of grow our volunteer base. They do amazing things. So proud that they are now a nonprofit. So I am also a local Wilson County resident. That was a requirement to kind of fill the role. So not only do I serve kind of in this position, but very honored to be now serving within my own community. Our application hasn't really changed in terms of what we do for primary care, but it does look a little different than the previous applications. My goal is to take our mobile health unit. So we have 2 clinic sites. One is out of the Glade Church. One is in North Mount Juliet Road. But we also have a mobile unit, and it's kind of been sitting. So my vision and dream for that is to continue to use it as a full operating clinic for our community in terms of emergency support, disaster support, taking that out. Actually, Summit Hospital has asked us if they could use that for education purposes and walking through students through some of that. But my hope and goal with kind of this new expansion project is to start serving the youth in our community. Going K through 12 and offering on school sites different STEM learning skills, education around healthcare, access and ability to have basic health screenings while at school, or doing some teacher education and allowing kind of the field trip experience through career days, career classes, and hopefully really mentoring and building a gateway and an ability to have some career pathways into healthcare. There is a high demand and high need for other positions outside of nursing, surprisingly, especially in Tennessee, that a lot of people just aren't aware there's a career pathway for. This includes x-ray technicians, radiology, sonography, right, taking ultrasounds. There is a huge deficit in Tennessee. So we're actually working right now with Wilson Works, who's a workforce development committee. I'm part of their healthcare established secondary committee to kind of address some of these issues. So I'm working with Vanderbilt, Summit, TriStar to try to build out utilizing the mobile unit to reduce those barriers for some of the students and youth in our community, to provide education, build youth mentorship programs where they can mentor other students into that, and create a space and a place for them to learn not only about their own healthcare needs and having access to healthcare at an earlier age, but then maybe potentially developing our own Wilson County future healthcare workers. So that's the difference you'll see.
Awesome.
Any questions for me?
Welcome to the new role.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, she stepped away. She had her grandmother. She was caring for her grandmother. So she's still involved, just so y'all know. She's still very active and supporting in transition and supporting some of our grants. And yeah, she's great. So, yeah.
Have you spoke to Mr. Luttrell about getting into the schools, I guess, on their career days and stuff?
I was going to say, I just got his contact information through the homeless. I'm part of that also, that they established the roundtable. So I just got his contact information through somebody that works in their administration to reach out to him about kind of how we can establish that per grade level.
High schoolers, I guess, or how far?
I mean, we would love to be at elementary school all the way up. Obviously, what we're implementing in terms of that education piece and that hands-on learning would be developmentally geared towards that age group that's coming through the mobile unit, right? So I want things they can touch and play with and see and experiment with. But then for the older kids, I have a going into 8th grader and going to be a senior. Lord help me. But they are very interested in wanting to know more about career. So what does that look like, right? We're high school. My daughter's more interested in, well, what does this mean? How do I get scholarships for it? Where would I apply? What are the barriers to that? What does it really mean to be a nurse? Some people have this vision of what it is until they really start learning about what it is. And some people have barriers to even knowing how to apply for college. So how can we kind of bridge that gap for the community and creating accessibility? So not only could they get those health screenings, right, the physical care needed on site, but we could also kind of do that career development and help them learn. But again, it would be geared towards their developmental level. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Nice to meet all of you.
Absolutely. If you need help getting in contact with Jeff, let one of us know.
I probably will.
Okay.
I'll take you up on it.
Yeah.
Any one of you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you.
Next up.
The other piece.
Well, y'all, I'm Kathy Breland from Easter Seals, Tennessee, and I know this is probably the third year I've been here, and I know we've been, and Easter Seals is formerly Prospect, in case you don't know, and we've been in Wilson County for years. I'm not even sure, I've forgotten the amount, but anyway, and I typically love to bring someone that we support with me that night, let them tell you, y'all typically, and I thank you very much, giving us $2,500 for transportation costs, because we take people like Elaine all over the community, you know, whether it's a medical appointment, out in the community to do something, to a job, and I just wanted her to be able to tell you something of, you know, what she gets out of it. If you'd like to tell them. Transportation means to you, or whatever you'd like to say. I see you've written down a few things. I'll tell you what she's written down. She's written down, she goes to work, we take her on outings, you've gone on trips with us.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And you take members, y'all go between the homes that we support, to see each other and that kind of stuff, and she goes grocery shopping, huh? Yeah. We just wanted you to know how we help
Yeah.
people we support.
Great.
That's all I have.
Yes,
If
thank
anybody has
you.
any questions, they're welcome to ask me.
Thank you all for coming out
Okay.
this evening and
Okay.
relaying your mission to
Well,
us.
thank you all so much for your past support. We love it, and so do all our members.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Have a good night.
See what he did.
Yeah.
It's cute.
I'm not new to this. I'm Peggy Simpson, and I'm with Wilson Books and Birth, the replication of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And we've been doing this since September of 2005. Almost immediately after the county commission, they adopted a resolution that we could start the program into Wilson County. And the program in Wilson County, of course, is under the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce's 501c3. And it's a three-way partnership between the Governor's Foundation in Nashville, of course, Dollywood, and then here with the Wilson Books and Birth. But I know you all have had so many new people to apply and everything, but we do really appreciate your support. This has been an exceeding unsettling time for families, for a lot of families. And many of the families, books are a luxury for the children. And we have an opportunity to provide them with the entire library so they get the books every month. Because when a kid gets a book in the mail, what they do is they hug it, they grab it, then they take it to parents and they read to it. And I won't take up any more of your time, but I just wanted you to know that we've got, as of 1st of March, we had 6,100 children in the program. And since that time, and as of March the 1st, of 2025, 21,900 children have actually celebrated their 5th birthday and graduated out of the program. So really, we have served over 28,000 children since September of 2005. And since November the 24th, I will tell you this, November the 24th, we did receive notice that the cost of the books was going up. And specifically, it was the cost of postage, because we know postage is going up, everything is going up. So for the past years, our price has been $30 per child per year, and now it's going to go to $35 per child per year, and that's going to affect our budgets. But we do appreciate your support and your money, and you sure help us give books to children. And I'll be glad to answer any questions if you have any. I just wanted to thank you so much.
Thank you for coming out and just being a part
Does
of it.
anybody have children or grandchildren in the program? Nobody on the committee does?
I did.
You did, but graduated, huh?
Years ago, yeah.
Okay.
Aged out.
Aged out. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I need to, one real quick.
Good evening. My name is Dan White. I'm with Music City Young Marines. Young Marines is a youth-based organization from ages 8 to the completion of high school. We teach leadership, citizenship through community service, self-discipline, and a healthy drug-free lifestyle. And we're requesting the $2,500 for the unit because we don't get any other resources other than donations and grants. So we take the kids, go to encampments. We're going to Washington D.C. to the White House next month.
Is this Mid-Cumberland?
It's formerly Mid-Cumberland.
Okay.
It is now Music City.
Music City.
But the majority of our young Marines reside in Wilson County. You guys have
How many kids do you got?
We have about 25 young Marines right now.
Okay.
How many?
All over the county?
Yes.
How many's going with you to DC?
13.
Okay. Now, is that just a certain selection, or they have to?
Yes. So our new recruits we're trying not to take because they don't have uniforms yet. Because we're going to do the parade in DC for the Memorial Day.
Nice.
So.
Right.
How many of them graduate, I guess, for lack of better terminology, to the junior ROTC program?
Well, it's similar to the junior ROTC program, but it's not inside of a school. It's outside of school.
But I mean, the recruits you have are younger.
They're 8 to the completion of high school.
Oh, okay.
Start at 8. Junior ROTC normally starts in the 9th grade. So we try to get them younger and try to, set them up a lot.
That's what I was asking. If you get them younger, do they normally go ahead and stay in the ROTC program?
Sometimes.
I know because, boy, the Mount Juliet Junior ROTC is, man, they are top notch.
Yeah, they are.
They are top
My
notch.
son was in Mount Juliet.
What was the name change?
There wasn't a name change. We merged 2 units after COVID, or we've lost a lot of young Marines, and we only had maybe 6 young Marines in our unit, and then Music City only had about 6 or 8, so we combined units together. So it's all, it took their name. I was the unit commander for Mid-Cumberland, but my wife and I, we have 12 kids, and it was a lot too much for us to try to, take care of our family and the unit. So we kind of merged both units into one. And the new unit commander is Jim Nestor.
You had a mini battalion.
Yes, sir.
I was going to say
Don't touch it.
Yeah, but you know what? Congratulations, because there's 11 of us, and we're all still here. So that's a blessing.
Thank you very much. No, sir. Thank you very much.
Michelle, come on. You're holding everything up.
I was last to sign in, so I figured I needed to be the last one in here. So I'm Michelle Hill with Empower Me Center, and thank you for the opportunity to apply for some grant funding. We took a couple of years off from applying and are back now. Just the need has continued to grow and is just absolutely immense with the number of individuals with disabilities that are moving into our community. As you know probably from the school system, the numbers with Wilson County and Lebanon Special School District are plus the homeschool are up over 6,000 basically individuals just in our county alone. We do serve individuals from 28 different counties over the past 27 years of our organization, but 75% of our participants come from right here in Wilson County. So out of last year, we had 502 individuals of the 729 were Wilson County residents. And so we are right now going to go vertical this fall with our building on South Hartman Drive. Thank you, finally. So we put a deposit down on the building, so it's finally happening. So we're so excited about that. Once we move into that facility, we're starting with the 10,000 square foot building plus this soccer fields, the bocce courts, and the driving range putting area, and then we'll come back and do the larger 37,000 square foot building. But with phase 1, with the 10,000 square foot building, it will allow us to double our enrollment enrollment, which is again why we need all the funding we can get just to try to serve the individuals with disabilities. So we act as child care for those families during the summertime. Our summer camp brochures went out on March 1st. We were full by the 3rd. And so I'm getting phone calls all the time of parents that are desperate. How are they going to work? I mean, parents crying like, I'm gonna have to quit my job because I have to stay home with my child with a disability because I don't have child care. And so that is the need that we are fulfilling within our community here in Wilson County. And but we right now are at Fairview Church with our adult program. It's a 4-day-a-week program. Eventually it'll be a 5-day-a-week program as well throughout the entire year. And then we have our summer camp plus also 18 additional scattered events throughout the year that we offer. And that's just going to continue to expand just to kind of meet the needs of our families. So but we invite you all to come to the Daydreamers adult program at Fairview Church, and they have such a great time. We partnered, Sam's Club came out today, Sam's Club Lebanon came out today and volunteered with them, and then they went to Panteros to eat, and they are out and about in the community just kind of enjoying life. And the summer camp is held at the Greer Recreation Center, so please come out and just see it in action. The fire department still comes out on Thursdays and sprays the water for the kids to enjoy, and to just really see it in action is really what I think will make a big impact. So, yes.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't the Shelby Golf Tournament
Yes, sir.
fund,
Yes, Shelby Hickman Golf Tournament the past few years have benefited. We've been a beneficiary of them.
say, once Shelby passed away, Joey and Susan
Yes.
decided to do Empower Me, and I hope that's going to be a long term.
I think it is. Susan's been serving on our board of directors, and she's now rolled on to our Capital Campaign Advisory Council. And
Been a long time friends.
love them. They are the best. Yes, yeah. And Shelby never got to come out to camp, so she was actually still alive when the very first time when they partnered with us, and then she got sick like right after that, and so never really got to participate. But they obviously know the need for sure of just finding meaning and finding activities for their child to do. Same thing with everyone else. So we just want to have fun with the kids, enjoy life. So
Joe, thank you so much for calling and reaching out. I know that we spoke on the phone, so I do appreciate it. It means a lot to see you tonight. Thank you.
absolutely. Well, thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
When did you say they was gonna break ground?
So we put a deposit down on the building. I just got the phone today. Had a meeting, a pre-con meeting. I'm learning all kinds of stuff with the city, all kinds of things about that I did not know. But we put the deposit down on the building. It's supposed to be in like August, September, so it'll be going up. So we're working on getting concrete. We got to bring water from across the street, so I'm working on that. So just all kinds of moving parts, but we should be in it April of next year. So
Why you gotta bring water?
because there's no, not on our side.
Down from the new subdivision going in, they bought a lane across there. I think.
On further down,
Yeah.
we're across from the car.
Come on. I thought you had right there beside where the what is that?
We're Barton's Village.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're
Back towards 231, right?
correct.
They're all dirt.
Correct.
5 nights in a row putting it in there.
Yeah. Are you talking about at the corner there of Old Murfreesboro Road? And no.
Back the other way. Going back towards the division way.
Yeah.
I thought they put a main under there, but they might not have.
I think I know it's on the north side. We're on the south side. We got to bore.
Well, the sewer on that side.
I knew it was.
Sewer's what you all put. Sewer's what just got put in. Yeah. So after we bought the property, we were on a hold waiting for sewer. Sewer just got put in on the south side. There's no water on the south side, and so we got to go underneath. And of course we're the first ones, but that's okay. We'll figure it out.
Where's your building exactly?
So Barton's Village, we're on the south side of the interstate. South on South Hartman Drive on the south side, Physicians Way, around the corner. Yeah, Barton's Village we're in between Barton's Village and an apartment complex. So if you drive that way, you'll see our pad. Our pad's ready for both the.
Doing all kinds of construction out through there.
They are. We're right beside it. We're right beside most of the activity going on. So.
That's good.
Yeah, finally, yes. So anything else?
What's even really good for them is Del Webb.
Yes.
be loaded with volunteers.
Yeah.
Just have to walk across the street.
So Mount Juliet Del Webb has been so great to us over the years, doing all different types of things. And so, yes, I'm with you. I'm 55, so I'm like signing a contract. I'm going to live there so that everybody I can just drive my little scooter or my little four-wheeler, over to work. Sidewalks are being put in. So
It's way too much.
and all those people, I'm pumped and excited about it. So all those young kids that we're employing are gonna be able to take care of me. So I'm ready to move in. Thank you all so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
She's right there. That's what I'm talking about, right?
Sorry, I wasn't before you. I should have gone last.
Oh, no. I just want to say thank you guys for supporting Wilson Rides since the beginning. And I want to reiterate what some of the nonprofits said. We all do work very well together. And our main mission is Wilson Rides, which is giving rides to seniors. However, the other things that have come out of just providing rides that they talked about, spending time with someone, pulling weeds, we are also identifying other needs, such as Regina talked about. When we go do a home visit with people, if we see that the trees are hanging over the roof and a storm's coming, or if their ramps are in disrepair, their steps, all kinds of things, we immediately contact the volunteer network and the Rotary clubs because they're the first groups to go out and fix those things. So that's one way we partner. I had a gentleman contact me. He has boxes of food, kind of like Joseph Storehouse and other nonprofits. They have lots of food to give away, but they have no way to get it out. So I have partnered with SCAN, the Lebanon Senior Center, getting ready to ask the Mount Juliet Senior Center on ways that we can get these boxes of food out to our seniors. That's what it's for. So we're doing that. And then one last thing, we did a program, and I just delivered 250 bags today to Quality Care. We do an Easter bag giveaway to all the seniors that we can give to, and then we do it again at Christmas. We did Christmas stockings, but it's a long time from Christmas to Christmas, and everybody does stuff for people at Christmas. So we thought we would tackle Easter as well. I worked with 3 Rotary clubs and West Elementary School, each club and the Beta Club at West Elementary, but each Rotary club made 150 bags, and West Elementary made 150 bags. Some of those went to Wilson Rides clients, but the majority went out to Quality Care. And in Mount Juliet, it's called Cedar Creek Post-Acute, used to be AHC. They had 100 people there. And then we did an assisted living and a memory care, one in Lebanon, one in Mount Juliet. Those are not Wilson Rides clients, but we have touched the lives of 600 individuals just through the Easter bag giveaway. So we're doing more than just giving rides, but that is our main mission, and you guys have supported us since the beginning. And I mainly wanted to come and say thank you, and I was happy to hear I didn't have to speak, but then I thought, I'm here. I might as well say thank you and let you know what we've been doing. So anyway, that's all I got.
Thank you.
All right. See you later.
Good night.
Have a good one. Be careful getting back to the city.
Didn't do your taxes. That's why you gotta go home early.
We've got until November to get them done. Yeah. Oh, extension.
Yeah.
Everybody in
They
Tennessee.
got an extension.
It pay out.
Tennessee.
I know, get it done the second it comes out.
How long have I got to?
I don't know. I didn't know.
Till November.
Mine already filed.
Yeah.
I never got anything back.
I filed mine too.
I filed mine too.
I never paid
Everyone got
attention until I married him.
Extension until November.
In Tennessee.
Yeah.
So that means I don't have to pay them till.
Probably. You've got a lot of time to save up, Chris.
I just pay when I submit.
He said, why am I gonna let them earn interest off my money?
Make that much money, you gotta. My wife was ready to pull the trigger this morning.
$65 left.
Yeah.
Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember.
But no, I do have to pay.
Yeah, I know you got
I
it.
just pay it when I'm submitting.
Yeah.
So I don't worry
Me too.
about it.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, I don't want to.
We'll get you one of your counseling sessions for your 80s, so we'll help you learn to manage it.
Don't tell anybody about my clinical psychologist.
Getting the business.
Are you coming back again?
You're adjourned.
Double the money.
So drug-free will focus.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll,
No Country Canine.
yeah, for sure.
Take yours since you got
Yeah.
a place out in Mount Juliet, so.
And I will,
I know the lady.
I'll take a picture of this and I'll reach out to Jeff and just tell him to connect to as well, send it to him. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yep.
Yeah, these people I don't.
All right, real quick. Anybody need to go to the bathroom?
New business.
Yeah, go to, yeah, we'll recess real quick and we'll go to the restroom. Let's take about 10 minutes, 5 at the most, maybe. All right, we'll call it back into from recess. All right, under new business, there's a couple things that was on the agenda that I want to address, and we talked a little bit about it last time we met. First one on the agenda was the process on grants if awarded by committee. I know there's been some communication, some talk between us about, how do we want to structure this? Is there certain ways that we want to restructure? Is there anything that we want to look at to, I guess, either change things or anything on your hearts and minds that you guys would like to see different in this committee?
My only thing that I kept just getting feedback about was what we did tonight. I would have applicants be like, man, we come here, we sit forever, we give the same spiel. Nothing ever really changes with the amount of money. So I felt like this went quicker tonight.
You said you had a sign-up sheet, LaBronya?
Mm-hmm.
Did they all sign up?
No,
See,
that's gonna be my only problem.
That would be the only.
Gotcha.
That'd be the only kicker, because when they all left, I was like, hold on.
So,
And
I thought they signed.
But we announced that
We did announce that.
they needed to sign in, and everyone looked at me like they did. Well, we don't think they did.
So we know for a fact there were some here that did not sign.
Mm-hmm. Prospect being one of them. Or Easter Seals.
Well,
Easter Shields, she spoke, right?
That's all, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have
That's on
that.
record.
That's on record.
So we have it on record, but my record is that if somebody asks me, then either I'm gonna have to go search the video and mark it,
Right.
or I pull my sheet and say, no, this is it.
Did Big Brothers of Mount Juliet show up? I mean,
They're not signed in on my sheet either.
that's what I'm saying, that they could.
And I'll take the hit on that, guys. I'm sorry I was late. Thank you, though, for calling it.
That was good, I like that.
No, yeah, it was a great idea.
But we
Yeah.
announced that everyone signed in. We need to make sure you sign. I mean, it was pretty heavy.
Okay, yeah, okay,
So
okay.
I'm not too worried on that front. They weren't listening or paying
Is there
attention.
possibly a way that you could send emails to the ones that did not sign in or that did not speak? And just say, hey, just verifying you were here because I don't see your name on the list, or
How many's on this paper here? What is that, like 30 people?
Last year we had, what, 42 that came last year?
44 signed in.
How many?
We have 44 signed in.
Okay.
Here tonight?
And they might have.
That's probably all of it.
Yeah, there was a long line to start, as soon as,
That was probably all of it.
Yeah, I will say I do like that. I think that was a good move. It's a great idea. Actually, Tyler called or texted me today and said, hey, what do you think about this? So I appreciate that. That actually, it helps us too, I mean, we have to sit here and, we go through a lot, and I want to be a good steward of everybody's time because we have things to do. So if we want to implement that, again, I'm good for that. I don't think we need to take a vote. I think we can just
See how it goes.
see how it goes. LeBron, if you're good with that. Oh, Nate.
I'm counting my list because we've got two different groups, so
Okay.
I'm already at 44.
15.
Okay.
Plus
59.
15, so 59 should have signed in on the list. And I don't mind if they showed up.
I can sign in. That list yet.
But are you representing an
I
organization?
think I'm representing Watertown and Mayor Jennings.
It's going to be under new business, I believe, is what.
Did I
is on probably-
sign, should I sign in or not sign?
You open up for public.
Are you on?
Are we doing the railroad thing?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be under new business, and I think that would come from a different amount of money.
Okay.
So I would say you would have
wouldn't
to.
sign
Right.
I've got you in the minutes just in case. You're a commissioner, so you'll be in the minutes.
I'll call on you to speak. I'll give you my time.
So is it a new one? I mean, what's going on? Is this a new organization?
No, this is going to be under new business. Yeah, it'll be under new business.
So Sarah Patton won't be here until 6:30. We were under the assumption that the meetings would run late as usual.
8:35.
And I,
County commission starts at 7, that don't mean I show up at 8:30.
okay. It's duly noted.
Yeah, we still got discussion. So are y'all good how we did it tonight, how we streamlined that for the applicants? Or is it something we need to stick with certain to help you out, LaBranya?
If there was a way that we could set the sign-in sheet an allotted period of time for them to come by the office and sign and say that they've turned in an application, they're present, and not have to necessarily stay for the meeting,
Yeah.
that would be,
Because I think any of us, if we have questions, I would like to at least be able to call on that organization before we cut them loose. What's your ideas, guys?
I like them all being here. I mean, I would have hoped if they weren't here and haven't signed in, they would have after the announcement, right? And then, of course, keep them here if we do have questions, because we could.
Yeah.
Right? Dismiss them if we don't have questions, then allow new applicants to speak, and then allow anyone else who wants to stay and speak.
Okay. Will that help you, LaBranya?
I'd be good with that.
How about, because my hang-up's going to be this, if somebody came in tonight with the intention of making a presentation, and somehow they didn't hear that they had to sign up, I don't think that disqualifies them simply because they didn't hear an announcement on something we started brand new tonight.
Yeah, because Tyler, your announcement was early, and some people did come in late, and especially if they came down Lebanon Road and all that crap going on there.
I guess with me too is if they even apply, they should still be considered.
Sure.
You know, whether they show up or not, really.
But the rule says you have to present. Just same with development and tourism.
Yeah.
You have to present. I think
The
moving
rule
forward.
says they have to be here, not present, right?
Mandatory. They don't have
Be
to
here.
speak. Yeah, they just have to be here and sign.
Right, exactly. So I think moving forward, you had a great idea for tonight. It's fantastic. This went phenomenal. I think maybe we reword that next year during the application period and say, you have to come to the courthouse on the date of the meeting.
Yeah.
And put your name on the roster
You must sign in.
to verify
Yeah, I'm
that
with
your
that.
application. And then if you would like to speak, you're absolutely welcome to. But that way they know they have to come here for the intent, for the specific purpose of signing that sheet stating, I'm still interested in this grant. My paperwork has been submitted.
Right.
You have it.
Yeah, because the big thing is that we've got the paperwork filed with your office. You know, they've done that. And obviously, you know, yes, with grants, the big thing is there are certain things that we require. And I'm with you on that. I think it would, if you're good with that, because you do all this in your office, so you're a big help to us. So whatever's easiest for you, and also that can streamline this committee process, because I know that we don't want to stay here, 2.5 hours.
Stay here either, but I do have one hiccup too.
Go ahead.
And that's with, if somebody comes in, and last year they got $7,000, and this year they're coming in, they want $9,500, they've got to come there and speak.
I agree.
I agree, that's good.
They've got to come here and tell
Yeah,
us why.
why you need an increase in your,
Yep.
yeah. So
However you want to word that.
how can we word that? So we need to put that in a motion. We're going to change that rule or apply that.
And I've got another,
Okay.
are we in new business or what are we in here?
We're in new business.
Okay. All right, because me and you kind of went back and forth last year, and you was talking about cutting the budget. All right, and so now I'm asking, how long has this budget been the way it is right now? And can it move up 10, 12%, 15% or whatever?
Last year we voted and it passed in committee to cut it 50, so we can't increase that. We can we can vote to increase it next year.
Cut it, wait a minute, we voted to cut it how much?
50,000 last year. I wanted 100 and it went for 50 instead.
I think that was a no.
That was whenever we disagreed on that. But we can increase it, ask to increase it back to the 50, add the 50 back to it next year.
This comes from hotel motel tax?
This is tourism, hotel motel.
It's there.
tourism grants, which we did last night, comes hotel motel also. There's a set allotment for development tourism grants, set allotment for health and welfare. Is the rest of the hotel motel already encumbered somewhere else, percentage wise, to like, I know the Ag Center gets something. So I mean, is that even a possibility?
Who's the other one that gets some out of it too?
Tourism is 11%.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. If the percentages are already encumbered, 11% goes here, 12% goes here, how can we ask for an increase? Because that's just gonna take.
It has to be passed during budget. It has to go to budget as a needs.
As a needs.
And we're not granting any needs this year.
You start raising people's taxes though and not giving nothing, you're gonna be in trouble.
I feel like we're giving. I mean, but
We are, but I mean, we keep adding organizations. You had 3 to come up here tonight. So
well, the city, I know the city just started doing what we're doing this year, and they're taking 75,000 out of their general fund and adding it and doing as well. So
I'm just saying, I mean, we're adding
Right.
something, and I don't know what you're coming up, so we might be adding another one. And so,
yeah. All right. So do we want to put, all right, how do you want to word your motion for if there's an increase and if they were awarded the prior year, if they increase what they're requesting, they must present and tell the committee?
If they're a new applicant, or if there's a increase in grant request from the previous year.
You know, I wouldn't support just a blanket increase. Let's say if your request is 25% more than last year, okay, or 10% more than last year, you know, put a number there.
instead of $50.
Yeah. You know, if you're getting 10,000 and you're asking for 12,500, you're asking 25% more. Okay, justify that 25%.
You know, we could kind of go down this rabbit hole. I know that we've kind of talked, do we cap? Do we set like a maximum on what we give per entity? I don't know if that's something you guys want to entertain, and that can kind of go in with that or not.
Well, I thought about the same thing that you did, but you got one up here that's 24,000 and one down here is for 1,000.
Yeah, I think that makes it complicated too, because I don't know, the Flower Club get 2,500 and the Senior Center get 2,500. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a big difference. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like a total amount that we were given, and like an entity, it can be like 10,000, or it could be 5, or it could be whatever. I get what you're saying. I didn't know. I know that there was chatter. Well, it was kind of talked amongst us a little bit throughout the year, but
right now, you move us on talking about raising the available funds for next year. Right, that we can, the total amount we can give out.
well, no, what I'm saying, yeah. So per entity, I know that, of course, I'm branching off a little bit like what we're talking about, since we're talking about, you know, how much do we allow them to go up or request or what they do. Is there a thought of also adding a cap of the maximum amount that we'll give per entity through the whole process? I mean, like say we would not go above this much, or do you just want to keep it the way it is and we just pick and choose, obviously, how we?
Some of these organizations are, I mean, I'm not going to pick on anyone in particular. Some of these organizations, they're big organizations. They have $1 million a year, you know, operating budget.
Right.
And we give them $10,000 or $12,000. That's a small drop. Some of these people, we give them $2,500 because that's all they ask for, because that's all they need. Right. They need to cover their postage for the year. They need to cover. I also don't want us to get in a situation where we're the sole funding source for some small organization. If that's the case, you know, it's not fair to be the sole funding source for one entity and you can't be it for the other.
Yeah.
I'm totally in agreement with some sort of cap, but I'm at odds with my own. I'm having an ethical dilemma here because I want to say, well, let's cap everything at $5,000. But I know good and well there's some organizations $5,000 isn't going to help. So I don't know if anybody care to weigh in and help me on that. That would be appreciated. But
yeah, I just like the flexibility. I don't want to, you know, stick us to something. And I'm afraid if we make a rule, we'll come into another circumstance where we want to have the flexibility, you know, if we stick to a cap.
Sure.
Yep.
That's just my concern.
Barney, what was the total cost last year on the 8 that did not I guess, receive their grants because they just chose not to? The organizations? Do you have that number?
Yeah, it's right here.
I didn't,
Isn't it? Ain't that the ones?
We had 7, so
That's the recreation list.
for last year,
and these are entities that we awarded to them and they just failed to,
looks like 18.5 did not get pulled last year,
yeah,
was returned back in.
yeah. And that's kind of frustrating, but we can't go backwards, so. All right. So we just keep it the way it is for, I guess, no cap at the moment, if that's the will of the committee. But what about what Chris was talking about and you for the, if there's any new, put that in a way of, I guess, put it in a way to vote on it.
To increase the overall bucket?
You're gonna have to, or somebody's gonna get cut. We're gonna
Yeah.
have to cut somebody because you just picked up 4.
Oh, all right, we're talking about doing an increase to send as a needs. I'm thinking about what you were talking about for the, if it's a new applicant, they have to come, they have to present, you have to, we were talking about that. I know we've talked about a few things, but let's stick with that, or one at a time. What do y'all want in reference to that for this applicant process?
Yeah, I think everyone has to show up to the meeting. They have to sign in, obviously, so we know that they're here,
Okay.
right? Any new applicant, we need to hear from. Any grant request that's greater than the previous year, we want to hear from them as to why it's greater, right? And then, of course, we just leave it open for anyone who wants to speak.
Okay. You put that,
That would be my motion.
that is your motion.
Second.
5 o'clock.
We got a motion and a second from Danny Clark for that rule. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Let the record reflect. It's anonymous. All right.
We'll need that other one.
What's that, the second
Tell me how we're gonna get those other 4 in.
Well, we got 3 that withdrew.
Okay. And then you got 1 that is in penalty. Big one.
And see, the new ones are only eligible for 2,500 for the first year.
What's the penalty one? The Tuckers?
Yeah, the Tucker's one was the penalty.
Man, I hate
What
that
happened?
for them.
I'll get with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was that one? It was Tuckers.
7,000. Okay. They could use it too, but no. What?
Yeah.
It's not on those.
So Tucker's comes under a different set of money.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, they're in recreation. I'm sorry.
So that would be the additional 7,000 going, you could split between somebody else.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to give it out to anybody. You could stick with the guy.
Right.
That'll be 7,000 more in budget.
I know on the recreation, Mount Juliet skipped a year. The ball fields. Remember he was telling us that? On the league. Is that right? Was he accurate in what he told me tonight?
Wes Wilson? I can't remember exactly.
No, Mount Juliet, I think they skipped 2 years maybe. Didn't they? Or did they get it like?
No, last year, it was the one that didn't file their paperwork correctly, because I remember we had to turn them down.
They didn't turn in anything last year.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah. They didn't, yeah.
So we may want to divert some of that to them.
Yeah, and we'll deal with that. Let's,
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Cut you off. This one withdrawal of funding request from the Joy Center, that's a $50,000.
That is, we're Joy Clinic,
Okay, never mind.
which is the new leash on
I
life.
thought, I was about to have a whole lot of questions there.
But so I guess the question Chris is asking, we can't add more money to our bucket this year.
Correct.
For this current. So it would have to be next year, Chris, that we make the increase for.
It'd have to go to budget, yeah, make it as a needs, send it to budget. So we'll look at that next year.
Put a cap on it.
Yeah.
Just say we're only taking 60 organizations. Somebody falls off, we'll pick you up. You can't really do that. So
We just,
they're gonna fall off.
we'll just have to work through it like we've been, I believe, yeah, you're gonna continue to get the applicants.
I mean, I understand a lot of this, but, I mean, sometimes they come up here and it's a knockoff because they were mad. They were partners with this other community.
Sure.
And then they got mad, and so now they want to start their own, and now we're gonna go through that, so
Yeah.
it's gonna take some digging, but
I think that's what we have to do as a committee.
some of that stuff's getting doubled up on here.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
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 There's a few organizations there's a few organizations like that right now, correct?
That's how the
LeBron,
churches
yeah.
got started.
There's like 4 of them that kind of all get enclosed, or,
So like the Civic League, for instance?
yeah, I believe that
They turn in one application.
Yeah.
The only part that's separate from them is their senior side.
okay, yeah.
So, but they do 3 different organizations under one application.
Gotcha.
Kind of like Mid-Cumberland too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And that's something that we can, obviously hash out and dig to that when we're awarding these grants out.
Is the Joy Center on this list? I'm not seeing it, unless it's under something else.
It's on this one, Danny.
What's the total amount we can get?
They should be under the recreation side.
There it is, never mind.
50, so it's going to be around.
And I do want to let y'all know that Restoration Community Outreach is disbanded. Both of the individuals have passed, so they're not doing that one anymore.
Who's that?
That is the Restoration Community Outreach. They were a tutoring program.
Okay.
Where's,
Danny was
yeah,
Yep, there it is.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
then
Huh?
that might make this real easy tomorrow night.
Yeah, that'll help us. So we'll deal with that. Any other thing for the process of the grants under new business of how we want them? Well, I know we changed that one rule. We good with that? All right. Moving on to second, number 2 on the item or on the list. It's going to be in reference to the reallocation of the funds for the 2024 committee action that was voted on and passed through committee. It was $50,000, and the reason behind it was just to cut. I was wanting 100 to cut from it, but we went with $50,000, and it does come from hotel, motel, and tourism money. Throughout the year, not knowing what to do with it, I know that we voted on that, and I want to keep it. I wanted to keep it within tourism, right? Because that's what it comes from. We want to make sure that we reinvest it back into the county as tourism. And then the need that obviously that was spoken several times came from Commissioner McFarland about the turntable and the need for that and the funds that's going to be needed for that. And with it being a tourism, I thought that, let him come before this committee and just ask or tell us a little bit about it and to see if the committee just to allocate it the one time of that $50,000 towards that's going to serve Watertown, it's going to serve the county, and it's also going to serve the cities because of the train coming through. So everybody gets a little piece of the pie, and it goes towards that. I think it'd be, because I think that you were asking it to come from the general fund or mentioning it, that we would, asking for the county to help pay for it. And I thought of thinking of a way of, hey, we know this committee did vote on and, just cutting, this kind of came out throughout the year. Last year when I cut 50,000, or this committee didn't know what we were going to do with it, but I now see that there's a need and it can go towards tourism. So Jerry, I'll give you my time left over if you'd like to step up to the mic and just tell us a little bit about it and how much it's going to cost. And
Well, thank you, all of you on the committee, for listening to all the people that came tonight. There's a lot of worthy causes out there, and all the help you can do for them would certainly be appreciated. I happen to be the only person in Wilson County that serves on the National Steam Preservation Society, and my function is trying to get the turntable up and running. We have a 110-foot long, 3-story tall, 600,000-pound engine that's being reassembled, remanufactured as we speak. I talked to Stephen Hook today. They'll be doing hydro testing probably the next 2 months, and after that there'll be steam testing, and after that reassembly and testing the old 576 on the line, probably November of this year, and then next year, hopefully be pulling train cars from Nashville all the way to Watertown to the turntable. Will the turntable be installed then? No, but we working on it as quickly as we can, because this thing will serve out of 39 miles of track, 30 miles of it's in Wilson County. So I'm a believer that we need to take some ownership of that, if you will. The turntable, we already have a $1.6 million grant from the federal government if it doesn't get clawed back. And we're obligated with $300,000 in the city of Watertown, $300,000, and there's a private donor for a couple of $100,000. But there's all kind of incidentals that we're going to need some extra money to get this thing up and running. And it's going, like I said earlier, it's going to serve as Mount Juliet dinner on the line. It's going to serve as Watertown. In Lebanon, John Cody is building an event center. Take it back. The building is there. It's the old Atwood lumber yard. It's right here on South Cumberland Street. That's been redecorated as an event center. So that engine will be stopping in 3 different places across the county at different times. So it's a tourism draw to get things here. So Mayor Jennings would be here. He's having a city council meeting as we speak. I talked to him today, and he couldn't be here to plead the case for Watertown. So here I be in Possum Town trying to plead the case for Watertown. But in a side conversation with Commissioner Smith and Mayor Jennings, that there may possibly be some tourism funds also available through this committee. And so I'm simply asking that we're looking into the future, trying to develop something for the county. Tourism, and if there's any fund available, we would appreciate your consideration. So, any questions for me, ma'am, sir?
How much are we asking for here?
I'm asking for anything that you have available, but the whole project up there, putting it all in, is going to be $2.5 million. But we've already, like I said, we got 1.6 from the federal government awarded now. The rest has to come from private sources, local government, that type of thing. So,
Man, that's going to build tourism. I don't understand why we just don't put the regular.
well, I asked Budget Committee, and I'm thinking capital projects. There's like 13 in capital projects, I believe. Is that right? Asking for $300,000 out of there, but you may have some left over in your committee in your budget. If so, we would very much like to be able to utilize that also.
See, again, the reason behind this was us thinking about the 50,000 that we voted on to cut, which we voted on and it passed in committee. So we're 50 last year for this right here for this time. Thinking, obviously, this came up, and I knew that either way that Commissioner McFarland had asked that the county would help in considering, and because, there's several millions of dollars that's pretty much there's a lot of investment in this project. Now knowing that
we got to come up with 30%.
Right, we have to come up with 30%. So with us having the 50,000 setting aside now, going towards tourism because it's tourism dollars, I saw that this was a need and I wanted to bring it before this committee and just allocate that 50,000 directly to that one-time spending from the cut, because this next year I think we're going to come back. I'm speaking from what I'm hearing that we're going to be asking to possibly send the needs to up our budget for this committee to the budget committee of next year. So
once you cut that money, that is no longer our money. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, it was the money from here.
Yeah, but no, you've cut it out of the health and welfare. I think that money's got to go back, and you got to ask the budget, or you got to ask the county commission to get that money back. We can't just pull money and put it back, pull money from this deal here. We're going to have to ask 17 people to get that $50,000 back. We're going to have to.
The 50,000 that we allocated on, that we chose to send back last year.
It's gone.
We spent, it was supposed to be for this year.
It was for this year.
Correct, because we took action on it last.
Grants are for the next coming budget. That 50,000 is still sitting out there because it hadn't been allocated yet. It didn't directly go back into
tourism. He cut the board. I thought you cut it last year, this year.
We voted for this coming year.
It's still in the hotel motel tax fund.
Correct.
It just hadn't been pulled out yet.
Correct.
So if it's still there, if it's still sitting in hotel motel tax, if it's still sitting in the hotel motel tax fund, if it's not been pulled out, then I make a motion that we give it to.
I'm with you. I want to give it to them, but I think it goes right back to these people, to every one of us.
That's somebody with a law degree to figure out.
Yeah, that's, so,
So I think I'm a little lost, so I need to get a little clarification. So are we pulling this from Fund 189, capital projects? Or is that what we're asking for? Because we're crossing funds.
So
What we
last
do is in general fund.
So last year, what we did, we voted to cut 50,000 just from the grant process, what we're given, what we're allocated to give away. I wanted to cut it 100,000, but it failed. It went to 50 and it passed. For this, so technically, that 50,000 is no longer a part of this, the health and welfare, right?
Right. But if he's asking for it out of capital projects, then that's a different set of funding.
No.
We never allocated that money, is what I'm saying. We just
But
cut it, but we didn't allocate it.
50,000's going to stay in the general fund. I'm not going to cross fund.
Right.
Pull that money. We're just going to put 50,000 back in general fund and take what you're trying to do right now with him out of capital projects.
Could we articulate that the 50,000 that we cut, since we did not allocate it last year, to go towards that specific, since it was part of our,
So it's still
No.
two different funds.
okay.
Because
So I knew that we did not allocate the 50,000.
once
No, we cut it.
it's out of our hands.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying, that it's gone.
okay.
But you can get it back. But you have to have, 13 votes, but you can get it back.
Yeah. We'll just have to address it during budget.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
All right, that's all the new business. Ms. Patton showed up. I know that you would like to address the committee. Okay.
Sorry I wasn't here earlier, but somebody else, I would have let somebody else come had I known that my relief wasn't going to be here at work.
Real quick before you say something, I know that this year that not everybody had to speak. If you were,
Know that.
yeah, right. So next year, we just voted and we passed a rule. So like if you're applicant that you've put in over and over, you don't have to come to this committee. You do have to sign in. Okay, let me rephrase that.
Just show up.
Show up, sign in, and if you're asking for any more, if you're increasing what you're requesting, you do have to present and tell us why.
You know what? We were the ones that said they have to show up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Get it.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Yeah. So just letting you know that to kind of help you out for next year. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I was floored when I didn't see any.
Right? Yeah, we got a round of applause whenever like, what? We don't have to stay unless we're increasing or need to present or new?
When I got here and couldn't find a parking
Yeah.
spot.
Well,
Yeah.
But no, we're not asking for anything. The Statesville Grange or in the FCE, we just kind of combined, and we're not asking for anything more. Just want to let you know that you're all still invited to come to our second Saturday potluck. We have a extensive potluck the second Saturday of the month. The whole community kind of gets together. We have at least about 60, 70 people in attendance. It's really growing. We have started a food bank out of the Statesville Grange. My husband and I fit the bill for the food that we pass out to like 25 families. And so they show up, people who need it and everything. And so we've been doing that for the past year. And we utilize the Grange as a place to store the food and keep it there. And then as we hear of somebody, we have a set time for people to come on Saturdays. So on Mondays, on Wednesdays and Fridays, we go get the food. And then on Saturdays, we pass it out. We also, the Grange also has the ladies group who, get together and whatever's needed in the community, we collect for everyone in and around and everything. We still have your curtain. And we might be willing to part with that for a set amount of money. But anyway, we just always, we just do what we can to help the area. I believe we are the only ones on the south end of the county, or southeastern end of the county, who get funds from you all, aside from the Watertown Senior Citizens Group. Most of the funds go somewhere else in the county, so we just try to do what we can to help as many as we can on our end of the county with what, as we can. And we've never asked for an increase or anything. We have actually, a couple of years ago, gave money to somebody else, and then we voted it back then a couple of years later. You remember, yes. So that's all I got to say. Is there any questions?
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're probably rushing to get here. So hopefully next year we'll be able to help you out. So, yeah, no, but, all right. All right, is that it, everybody?
Motion to adjourn?
Well, hold on a second. We're not going to adjourn. We're going to recess. Tomorrow we meet again, 5? We call back into recess at 5 p.m. to I guess, issue these grants out. So,
Can someone send me the list by Excel so I can just look at it and see how it adds up easier?
Okay,
all right.
Just email me if you want.
I'll do it in the morning.
Can I leave?
The Wilson County or the other email.
Everybody going to be able to make it tomorrow?
Yeah, either one.
Everybody going to be here tomorrow?
You too?
5 o'clock,
5.
so we about 5:15.
That's fine. No worries. I was late. You beat me here.
Thank you.
All right, we're recessed. See you tomorrow night. Thank y'all.